Yeah, Auburn police officials now tell me it was those two men who got into a shootout during evening rush hour back here at the gas pumps. About 20 evidence markers on the ground, multiple shell casings seen, and two men are in the hospital. Auburn police spokesperson Colby Crosley says some sort of argument led to guns being pulled out.
There was a confrontation. One person was in a vehicle and the other person was standing on the outside of that vehicle. Something arose between them and they started shooting at each other. That person in the car then took off and was found with the gunshot wounds in Kent, and the other person was here.
Crosley said both of the men have life-threatening injuries, and police are still investigating whether they knew each other or not. You drove up here, you saw the cop cars and the police tape up here, and you're not surprised?
No, not at all. Yeah, no, it's a shame, you know, but it's happening all over this south end.
Anthony Carrion, who lives nearby, told us he was thankful he wasn't at this gas station when this happened.
Because my family could possibly without a husband and a father.
More people could have been hurt. We're very thankful and we're very lucky that it was just the two that were involved in the shooting and no one else on the outside was hurt. So that's obviously a major concern, and that's something that we looked into right away.
And Auburn police officials also told me one of the men who was shot and hurt here drove from this location on Auburn Way north to Kent, and they were found at Kent Station in that area. Police told me right now it's too early to tell if one person or both of them will face criminal charges and what those criminal charges will be, but we will keep you updated. In Auburn, Paul Rivera, KOMO News.
All right, thanks, Paul.
Let's show you a live look at Seattle this morning. Tomorrow, First Lady Jill Biden will arrive in the Emerald City. The First Lady is scheduled to land that night, and then on Friday, she's expected to visit the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center to highlight the importance of supporting cancer survivors through specialized care and research. She'll then head to Los Angeles on Saturday.
I see the needles and the human waste.
Todd Baldwin lives across the street from this encampment. His surveillance video shows people trying to break into his house, bathe in his yard, and more.
Our backyard has been used as an outhouse. So people are coming over there and defecating and urinating in our backyard, so my son can't even play in his own yard.
These tents sit between home and school for dozens of kids in the Highline School District, which then mapped out a new route for them to avoid it. But I still saw middle schoolers walking by.
For me, this is ultimately a public safety ordinance. You cannot have tent structures, sleeping structures up permanently.
At least not during the day, but people can still camp overnight if there are no shelter beds available.
Forcible element of this is a misdemeanor around not taking that down or potentially not accepting a shelter or service during the day.
So if that's you and you just want to be on the street and you do your fentanyl, well, the cops are going to ding you for that now.
The city tells me Burien police and local nonprofits like the Salvation Army work to offer services and shelter, but it still seems to be growing larger. These workers telling me they're installing barbed wire to keep people from continuing to vandalize this property.
Really, we're working on a way to find the best avenues available to achieve our primary goal, which is to get people off the streets and into shelter and services.
Shelter space all around this region in King County extremely limited, and that's one other thing this new ordinance does. It gives the city manager the power for permitting for more shelters here in Burien. Denise Whitaker, KOMO News.
Hi, everyone. I'm Preston Phillips from KOMO News. Thanks for checking out the KOMO YouTube channel. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for more news from the Seattle area and Western Washington. Oh, and don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't miss our YouTube updates.